Hi everyone, I'm going to talk to you about what types of speech and debate we'll see at tournaments as judges. So one thing you'll know about speech and debate is that we actually have a variety of different types of formats. And why we do that is to help different students be able to choose what type of speech best fits their topics, best fits their interests, and also best fits their style. So in a Young Speakers Tournament, we will have 5 different types of speech and 1 to 2 different types of debate. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about the types of speech. So we have prepared speech. And prepared speech is where students have actually been working on this for a couple of weeks, sometimes months, sometimes the whole year. And it's usually a topic that they've chosen themselves, and they've either written it or they've choreographed it themselves and memorized it. Novice students can use notes. Varsity and JV students will often have it memorized. So prepared speech are their own original work, and we see 3 different types like this. One is original story. The second is original advocacy, and the third is recital. The first is original story, and original story is what it sounds like. Students write a speech, and they're coming up with their own story. Sometimes it's fictional, sometimes it's true, but it's a narrative story that they've put together themselves, and you'll see a lot of creativity here. So you really want to judge students based on the quality of their writing, their creativity and imagination, but also how they tell the story. The second is original advocacy. Original advocacy is more persuasive. So students have chosen an issue that they really care about, and they want to persuade you as the audience member to really care about that topic too. And so usually they've written a couple of different types of arguments, but again, you're judging them based on the quality of their writing and whether they persuaded you about that topic or not. Finally is recital. Not every student loves writing, but there is a place for them because they have a lot to express, but they do so through performance. So recital is anything where a student takes a published piece of literature and they act it out without props or costumes, using their voice and their body. So sometimes they're acting out a monologue, sometimes a song, sometimes a skit. And so recital is something that's published that they're using to creatively express their ideas. All right, now I'm going to move on to limited preparation speeches. It's what it sounds like. Limited prep means that students usually have about 2 to 5 minutes to prepare a speech right off the top of their head for you. So you are judging them based on their ability to do that. So there's 2 types of limited prep events. The first is pitches, and then the second is 3-point speeches. So pitches are where a student is actually taking a problem. They're given a problem that they have to solve with a product, and they come up with the product themselves, and they're doing a little commercial, a little pitch for you to convince you that that's the product that's going to solve your problem. The next one is 3-point speeches, and 3-point speeches, they're given any random word, sometimes a quote, sometimes a phrase, and they get a limited amount of time to be able to prepare a 3-point speech about that topic. So in both of these, we want to judge them based on their ideas, but also their organization and their ability to speak fluently off the top of their head. So those were the 5 different types of speech. We also have a couple of different forms of debate. The most typical form of debate is known as Congress debate, and there's going to be another video on that you should watch. But Congress debate is something where they're preparing speeches on very particular kinds of Congress bills. So it's modeled after a mock Congress. And sometimes we also have things like SPAR and parliamentary debate that will be in other future videos as well. So thank you so much. Those are the different types of speech formats for Young Speakers Tournaments.